Gwela da, croeso e Gymru. More specifically, welcome to Conwy Castle. And a very majestic building it is too, I'm sure you'll agree. I've just had the CRF serviced, and on my way back I've decided to take a slightly scenic route, which I hope you'll find enjoyable and interesting at the same time. So this is the centre of Conwy, famous for its castle. It's one of a big ring that Edward had put up to protect his kingdom. However, we're not here to see that. We're here to go to Sychnant Pass, which I think is a really pretty, it's majestic view. It's not long, but it's really majestic. So we're going to go there. So we have the castle walls to our left. So we're now heading towards Bangor. Essentially this would have been the original road across for the drovers going west. Nowadays, of course, we have the A55 North Wales Expressway. But if you have the time to take the detour off of the A55, this is a beautiful little loop that you can do. It's quite popular, it's quite busy today. In no time at all, you can see we're at some really lovely rolling countryside. When you think that just a couple of miles to our right is the mad dual carriageway, this is lovely. Today is January the 6th, 2023. It seems hard to believe that we're in a January. No heated grips, no signs of ice. It's wonderful. So this is where we start the pass proper. I think I might have put a video up of this in the past in the Smart, but just in case I haven't, it's worth doing on a bike. mountain biker. So this is a 40 mph limit up this road, and to be fair, it is quite busy. I'm surprised some wag hasn't asked for it to be made into a 30. And what's going to happen now is we should open up into the most sublime view. Over there we can see the Menai Straits, we can see Innismore. We've got this beautiful gorge here. Absolutely amazing. What absolutely stunning, serene beauty we've got. Right, so we're now heading on our way down to Penmaenmawr. We've come off the pass. We're still heading down. Penmaenmawr used to be a very, very popular seaside resort. I believe, Victorian times it was very busy. And you notice from some of the architecture, it's very much of that ilk. And we've just had all this stunning beauty. However, against the backdrop of all this beauty and serenity is a little story I'd like to share with you. Now, about 4 or 5 years ago, I came down here and I pulled up and I stopped at a particular place where I'm going to take you now. When I got there, I had a real feeling of unease, I suppose. As if something bad had happened or was going to happen. It was a really horrible feeling. It was one of those things that you just think, this doesn't feel right. I can't explain it, or I couldn't explain it at the time. About a year or so later, my wife said, "Oh, there's a programme on telly I want to watch. I think you might find it interesting." And it was really enlightening. And thoroughly unpleasant, if I'm honest. I'm going to share it with you. But I'm not going to share it with you till I get to where I need to be. So you'll just have to bear with me for a minute. So as I came down here, I started to feel, as I say, ill at ease, very uncomfortable. And I parked up and I thought something doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't feel right. And I couldn't understand it. And then we watched this television programme. And the television programme made everything possibly clear. I don't know. Now I need to refer to some notes here, so do bear with me. So on September the 24th, 1976, the night of the 24th into the 25th, didn't look like that, like this here then. There was a big hotel here, where this block of flats now is. It was called the Red Gables Hotel. It was owned by a Linda Simcox, and she had a daughter, son-in-law and a family friend staying here. No one else, there were no other guests. She had employed someone called Neil Rutherford. Now Neil was an interesting character. He was a retired lieutenant commander in the submarine service in the Royal Navy. When he retired from the Navy, he inherited his father's nautical business. Unfortunately, that didn't do well and went under. And he subsequently also became divorced. His life took a rather big downturn, as you can imagine. And he ended up here working, I think he was doing like gardening type things, growing tomatoes and stuff like that, was general handyman type. But he was working here until the night of the 24th into the 25th. Don't know what caused it or why it happened, but he took a gun to Linda, the owner, to Lorna McIntyre, who was her daughter, also to a chap called John Gore Green, who was the family friend over from America. And he also shot Alistair McIntyre. Alistair didn't get killed immediately. We believe that the rest of them did. Alistair staggered outside, bleeding profusely, and later was declared dead, but not until he'd actually been found and an attempt had been made to save his life. But Neil then took a gun to himself. This is the scene of one of Wales's biggest killings. A mass murder of 4 people, followed by the suicide of the perpetrator. I'm wondering why I felt so ill at ease when I was first here, and now I think I know that must be something to do with that. What I find really strange is there's no memorial to Linda, her family, the guest. There's no memorial, there's no reference. Even back there, used to be called Viaduct Red Gables, or Red Gables Viaduct. That's been changed to 4th Derbyshire after a local quarrying family. It seems like the event's been written out of history. However, it hasn't. I'd like to think that those people are still remembered. So what did it used to look like, Red Gables Hotel? Well, if you look on the internet, you can find out what it looks like, because it was obviously raised to the ground and then this block of flats was built in its place rather. Now if you go onto Google Maps at the moment, as of this morning, if you go onto Google Earth and you follow the road down here, down St John's Park, it looks like Google hasn't updated the maps. Sorry, the Google Earth. So let me just turn round. If one is to follow it back up the hill and you look to the left on Google Earth, up that way, you can still see photographs of the Red Gables Hotel as it was. It seems so sad that the only apparent memorial to those poor 4 people who died at the hands of Rutherford is that photo. And it's quite nice that it's still there. As a councillor once said, it seems like everyone's trying to erase the event from history. I know it's horrible, but it's live. That's A55 motorcycles there, very good firm. Very well recommended. Yeah, so there you go. We've had the beauty of the pass, and we've had the dreadful events of the mass murder, from majesty to the macabre. I realise that's quite a sensitive subject matter, but I did feel it was worth producing the video on the subject, particularly bearing in mind the lack of any memorial. And there's something else I want to share with you. When I first said, when I went there the first time, I felt ill at ease. That's totally genuine, I did. But I want to share something else. This video I produced using 2 separate cameras, and the idea always was that the audio would be on one camera with the footage using my GoPro. The SD card on the GoPro has worked faultlessly throughout the whole time I've had it. When I've gone to actually try and upload the videos, the video that you've actually watched, which I was going to use purely as the audio, has come up as you've seen it. The SD card has completely crashed. It was working perfectly alright, and the camera started without any difficulty whatsoever, and it's suddenly died since I turned it on. Why it should happen on this video of all videos, I don't know, but it's certainly very spooky. It's a horrible subject matter, and for some reason my equipment doesn't seem to have worked, and it still doesn't work. I've just been trying it today. I'll leave that with just some food for thought. Thanks for watching. See you the next time. Bye.